Alright, hello everybody, it's Philly Kuts with another Hump Day Haul. We're up to number 42. You know, no big whoop. It's where I show you guys the stack of comics I get every week and how I have stack envy over people that have bigger stacks than I do. Alright, people. We got some great books from DC this month. This is a huge month for me for DC because it has two of my favorite comics. The first being Green Lantern number 42, and my oh my, has the Green Lantern universe been shook up to its foundations, folks. Last issue in Green Lantern number 41, we were introduced to the Rogue, the new Rogue Green Lantern. He's been separated from all other lanterns in the universe. Anybody that has a ring in the universe, they've been shipped off to elsewhere. If you want to read a great book that deals with the Green Lantern Corps specifically involving that, check out Green Lantern Corps Lost Army, and it's written by Cullen Bunn. It's excellent, and it does tie into this a little bit too, because at the end of issue number 41, Hal discovers that he's alone, that all the Green Lanterns are gone. So, pretty cool, right? Lots of stuff going on in here. Green Lantern continues with his rogueness. Hal's got a new costume. He's got long hair. Take a look at that. He's kind of looking like Val Kilmer from the Doors era. Not big fat Val Kilmer of today, who I do like, who I do enjoy. Kind of like it when stars of yesteryear put on the pounds. But anyway, Hal basically is rogue, and he's going on these kind of missions, sort of bounty hunter-ish missions. He saved I want to say someone who's from royalty, from another planet. Oh my god, what is his name here, the person that he saved? He saved a member of the monarchy of Keth Prime. He got this guy out of trouble. Not only did he get him, but he also captured the captor of this royalty person. And that created kind of the setup for the next issue as well, because this person that Hal captured, well, he's got some buddies, and they took exception to Hal doing this, and they're tracking him down. And there is a confrontation. Also, it's called the Medusa effect on the cover, simply because there are these little asteroids, as you can see. They're crashing into planets, and they're turning the planets into stone. Now, interesting. And there's a huge surprise at the end of this issue. One of Green Lantern's old foes comes back to the universe. And I can't wait to see how that unfolds. And they are certainly not happy. Not like this guy. Isn't that guy cute? What a guy. Alright. Speaking of some more Lantern-related stuff, the Omega Men. And this is an interesting issue. The Omega Men supposedly had murdered Kyle Rayner. And these guys are wanted in the universe. Now, it's a little unsure whether these Omega Men, what are they? Freedom fighters? Terrorists? There's a bit of ambiguity surrounding who are the Omega Men. Well, anyway, spoiler alert, it turns out that Kyle Rayner isn't actually dead. He has been held hostage by the Omega Men, and he doesn't have a ring again, similar to Hal Jordan. So we kind of got this continuity floating around in the whole DC universe with the Lanterns. And in order to ensure that Kyle Rayner doesn't take off, it looks like they've implanted a bomb inside Kyle Rayner's neck. And you can see him on the surgery table there, getting cut into on his neck. Now, if he tries to leave or escape, boom! No more Kyle Rayner, at least that's what they tell him. So, interesting stuff. Also, this really deals strongly and touches upon Kyle Rayner's religion. I guess he's Catholic. So it kind of touches on Catholicism. It also touches on the main religion of the planet, I think it's Primus, where this takes place. Or it's actually the character, I think's name is Primus, and it touches upon his religion. And I guess Kyle Rayner and him have some interesting conversations about religion, which I think is pretty cool. You know, we have a lot of these books coming out now that are kind of touching upon, you know, Middle Eastern conflict and stuff and terrorism, and I think it's pretty cool that they're touching upon religion as well in this. If you didn't know, I guess Kyle Rayner, I didn't know this, is biracial. He has a Latino father and an Irish-American mother. Now, you can't get more Catholic than that unless one of the parents was also Italian. So pretty cool stuff, dudes. Check it out. I'm enjoying Omega Men. That's going to run for about a year. I guess it's going to have a 12-issue run. It's going to run for a year. Next, DC Detective Comics. Let me get my notes. Batman is dead, folks. Wink, wink, supposedly. We really know he's not dead. He's going to come back, right? In the meantime, Commissioner Gordon is now the new Batman. Batman is now like a mech with bunny ears. You see him? He's a wascally rabbit. But not only that, he's also known as the Batman with checks and balances. Why? Because he's part of the Gotham police force. He now works in tandem with the Gotham police force, and he actually has a Batman task force that works with him, of which Harvey Bullock, I can't remember if he decided to join it. He certainly is conflicted with joining the task force, because as we know, Harvey has always had difficulty with the real Batman. Doesn't really appreciate the vigilanteism aspect of it. It's interesting, too, that a lot of the characters do not know that Commissioner Gordon is this new Batman. Now, how they're able to keep that hidden, I do not know. And I can't recall, and I won't spoil it for you if Harvey knows. So, pretty interesting stuff in here. I don't really know how I feel about the art. This is by Blanco. It kind of reminds me a little bit too much of Catwoman. You know, it's very, very dark. There he is drinking a beer, Harvey Bullock. Gotta love that on the stoop. Just love how grimy and somewhat kind of, in a strange way, sexy Blanco's making Harvey look. And he is having lots of sex with Detective Yip. And there's also a return of Renee Montoya. And there's some interesting interplay between Renee Montoya and Harvey Bullock. And, of course, Harvey Bullock is a bit paranoid and can't really trust anybody. So, lots of stuff going on in here. Interesting stuff. There's this gang of people that the new Batman has to deal with. And I guess it makes total sense when you think Commissioner Gordon, who's in his mid-40s, he's 46 to be exact. I thought he was a lot older. That they have him in a Batman mech suit in order to be Batman, because there's no fucking way he could do it otherwise. All right! Another Batman title, Arkham Origins, or Arkham Knight, rather, my apologies, number 6. This deals, again, with Bane. It's the Bane of My Existence Part 2. Kind of deals more with Bane and his peoples. And I guess his peoples, who were the people of San Prisco. Sounds like San Francisco. I guess they have some sort of ancient claim to the city. Chock full of action in here. Ton of action in this book. Batman does get into a bit of trouble with Bane. And if you look closely in the glare of my crappy camera, you can see Poison Ivy's vines coming around, twisting and twining. And you may ask, well, why the hell is Poison Ivy saving Batman? Doesn't she hate Batman too? Well, I'm not going to tell you why. Poison Ivy cut a deal with another notorious Gotham villain who I'm not going to reveal, but that's what her intentions are. She needs to do something for somebody in order to get something. So, take a look at Batman. And another big spoiler in this is the first time in the Arkham Knight comic that Arkham Knight and Batman have a showdown, and I'm not going to show you any panels on that, but it's the first time they meet. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, did anybody get Batman Arkham Knight for PS4, Xbox One, or God forbid, did you get it for the PC? Because I heard that the PC version, which was not handled completely by, who is it, Rocksteady, the publisher? I guess they farmed out the port duties to a third-party company. Can't recall the name to, and that's created a lot of problems because whoever was in charge of handling the port, it's resulted in Batman on the PC to crash like religiously. If they haven't yet, I think they may be pulling that game off of Steam. And I actually think they stopped selling it in a lot of places because it's had so many problems. Also, I heard that the DLC, specifically the Harley Quinn DLC, out the gate is shitty. I heard it was really short and really stupid. So I'd love to hear anybody out there. Did you pick up Batman Arkham Knight? I heard for the PS4, that's the best version, I guess. It's kind of playing the most smooth. I was actually buying this comic, Arkham, Knight, because I wanted to hype myself up for that game. But then I found out that it was coming out with $40 DLC Season Pass. So if you wanted the complete experience right out the gate, it would cost you $100. And no, I am no way in hell, shape, or form going to support that kind of practice. No way. That's just way too much for a season pass. And I especially feel vindicated now hearing that the first batch of DLC, or the first exclusive DLC, I don't know if that was a GameSpot thing, the Harvey Quinn DLC was crap. And that doesn't give me a lot of faith for what that's going to be like down the road. I guess they're going to be releasing all the rest of the DLC over a period of 6 months. So I'm going to do the wait and see technique and hope that probably in a year they're going to come out with a Game of the Year version like they usually do with this stuff. And I'm going to probably snag that, hopefully at a discount price. Sometimes they come out with those Game of the Year editions like a year later, and you get all the DLC, everything that's ever been included for, I don't know, sometimes 60, sometimes even $40. Or I'm thinking during Black Friday, there will probably be some massive, pretty cool sales and incentives for that. So I'm going to wait. I would like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Batman Arkham Knight so far? Because I know that you guys are huge comic fans. I heard that the Riddler missions were pretty tough, pretty ridiculous. I heard that Kevin Van Ord from GameSpot, rather, gave it a 7 out of 10, and that caused the huge uproar, because we all know about gaming reviews, right? Everybody has to give it like a 9 or above, or else nobody likes the game, or they think that the game was robbed. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother rant about video game rating systems and stuff. Anyway, I would love to hear your guys' opinion about that, and let me get off of that and keep moving. All right, Marvel Comics, the Star Wars bundles are out this week. Darth Vader number 7. This is a cool issue because Darth Vader has found out that he has a son and that Luke Skywalker is his son. So this is going to create a whole bunch of slow burn and a whole bunch of storylines in the future with Darth Vader knowing this and what's going to happen with that. I mean, the star of this comic, too, not only is the writer Kieran Gillen, but Salvador Larroca, I think, does an amazing job with the artwork here. I mean, Darth Vader, of course, just looks spot on. And the writing, they really delve into the psyche of Darth Vader. He's had a couple tough runs. The Death Star got blown up. Then there was a munitions outpost on some moon that the rebels foiled him on again, and they destroyed that. And the Emperor has been kind of assembling these super cyborg weapon guys and tried out their skills on Darth Vader. It almost seems like the Emperor may have been losing faith in Darth Vader's abilities. But Darth Vader keeps chugging along. You also get some Greedo action in here. I forget what race he's known as, and he's got a nice vault of bodies I don't know if they were dead or alive bounties that he probably fulfilled. Just great looking stuff. There's been a lot of interesting characters added to the lore. The two death bots that Darth Vader has at his disposal. It's kind of like a dark C-3PO and a dark R2-D2. I think it's called D3 is the C-3PO one, and he's just sadistic, He's just like a real asshole, and he really enjoys torturing and terrorizing his victims. And, you get like female Jabba the Hutts in this. See what the adornments. I'm sorry that my camera is not focusing at all, but great book. I'm really enjoying Darth Vader. Now, the end of Princess Leia, issue number 5 out of 5. I wasn't, this series I wasn't exactly impressed with, and I wasn't like, this is must read, every month. In fact, I haven't even read issue number 4 yet, but I knew this was only a 5-issue series, so I decided to close it out. I mean, once you get past that book 2 mark, you're just like, fuck, I gotta just finish up the series, I did have some complaints with the art. It's the husband and wife duo of Terry Dodson, Richard and Rachel Dodson. I just thought that the look of Princess Leia was a bit inconsistent. And in some panels, they nail her likeness square on. In other ones, she looks like an Asian kabuki figure. You know what I'm saying? And it just isn't consistent enough for me. Now, there were definitely some positives. Princess Leia was definitely a strong character, as well as her pilot friend. Well, subject turned friend. That's really the evolution of that character, Evan. She was cool, strong character. And it was kind of like women sticking together with women, Women helping each other out. Women are strong, and I really liked that. I enjoyed that characterization of women. They weren't sexualized in any way. They weren't scantily clad. Tomb Raider type Laura Croft in the old days. I mean, very, very strong character. Princess Leia earned everything that she got in this, at least in the first 3 issues that I've read. So definitely some positives, but if I had to say out of the 3 books that have came out, Star Wars related, you have Star Wars, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, I gotta say that I found this one to be the weakest one. I am looking forward, I believe, next month for Lando Calrissian's short run to start. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to do eventually an Ewok Chief Chirpa miniseries. Can you imagine? Chief Chirpa? Or Wicket? You remember Wicket? I remember the little Wicket action figure. It was about literally that big. Yeah. Well, at least I could get it in the stores, unlike Amiibos. That's a whole nother rant. Don't even get me started with Amiibos. All right. Anyway, last Marvel comic, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, and this is another comic that I didn't read the last issue. It's basically the crime families of the city are fighting over turf. They're fighting over supremacy. You have oh God, who is it? What is her name? The Wraith. Yes, the Wraith. Captain Watanabe. You know that she's a captain in the police force, but then she moonlights as a vigilante, I guess superhero, you would say, the Wraith. One of her detectives got shot and killed. She needs to find answers, so she's been doing her kind of thing, Batman vigilante style, and that's kind of conflicted with Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, and they kind of have run-ins with each other. But I don't know, I just kind of find it pretty goofy, the characterization of the characters. He's dealing with some crazy circus crime family syndicate in this. Oh, God, I can't remember the name. I'm all screwed up. I had my notes all freaking written down, and now I can't figure it out. Who the hell is it? Well, anyway, he's dealing with like a circus gang, okay? And leader of the circus gang is like a guy who has like a hypnotic top hat. And it's just, it's kind of goofy, you know? It's kind of campy. I guess I'm kind of used to the grittier DC stuff, or at least what I perceive to be grittier DC stuff than what I'm used to with this Spider-Man. And I don't know. I mean, I know that this story arc concludes next month, but I don't know. I'm considering dumping Spider-Man. There he is. I don't know what his name is. Reminds me of Gary Oldman, like a freaky-looking Gary Oldman from Dracula. You remember those crazy costumes he wore in that? But I'm thinking of dropping it. It's on the keep or sleep, so they really got to have a good story arc going on. And the other story arc, yeah, right, because this is 19.1, whatever the freak they're doing with that. And then there's Amazing Spider-Man 19. That's not that good either. So the two current story arcs for both series, they're not very good. I'm not very impressed with any of them. Okay, Mike Mignola's Baltimore, The Cult of the Red King. This is issue number 3 of 5, and that's limited run. You essentially have 2 stories going on at once in here. You have Lord Baltimore in St. Petersburg, Russia, who's trying to help his friend get released from a coven of, like, witches. Now, there's some stereotypical, you know, tropes going on in this. Kind of like, you know, the wicked witch trope or whatever, or the demoness, seductress trope. You know, women as seducer trope. I don't think Anita Sarkeesian would be too happy with this kind of trope. Anyway, one of Baltimore's friends, of course I can't recall his name, gets under the spell of one of these witches, and they end up really taking control of him. And they have to save him. Then, in the other story arc, you have a group of Baltimore people, part of Lord Baltimore's gang in Carthage, which I'm not even sure where that is anymore. I don't know if it was in Africa or where it was. But they're trying to uncover the location of the Red King's temple. And they're dealing with cult members with that. And these cult members have these cool looking red robes and face masks. Kind of like the people on the cover. So really, really cool book. I'm really, really enjoying it. Does have a bit of, like I said, some stereotypical tropes in there. But I'm able to deal with it. I like it. I enjoy it. We learn more and more about Lord Baltimore in this. How he's really been so damaged by his quest to eliminate all these vampires in the world. The world is just overrun by vampires, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You could be a priest. You could be anything, such as this man here who is a priest, believe it or not, afflicted and ready to bite and pounce and kill and suck your blood. Alright, Outcast number 10. This is another good issue. Previously, the dynamic duo of the Outcast, who again, I can't remember his name. That's the theme of this freaking issue this month, is I can't remember the names of characters. There's some problems with faith in this, and problems with believing in what you're doing. You know, have you ever had a job where you kind of wonder, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what am I really doing? Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Am I really helping anyone? He's having a big-time conflict. A big-time conflict. You have the older priest, and I'm so sorry I can't remember his name, but we have the older priest who is really faithful, okay? This guy with the glasses, he full-on believes what he's doing. You know, they're exorcising demons. The younger character, who I, again, can't remember his name, I'm so freaking sorry, Kyle, who is the younger character, and he's angry, and he has a history of depression, and he has issues. He's the more skilled exorcist. He's the outcast. He has like a gift. He has like the gift of exorcism. He can really just be in the room and touch one of these people that are possessed, and he'll exorcise the demon. He's very skilled and gifted. He has issues about what they're doing, because in this issue, in the last issue, and it bleeds into this issue, they exorcise a young girl, get the demon out of her, but it kind of sends her into a coma. And Kyle has reservations about that. He's like, well, what the hell did we really do? Now this woman's in a coma. Is she ever going to get out? Like, what are we doing? How are we really helping? And the older priest, or the older preacher, he believes what he's doing is rock solid. Well, she's no longer possessed, Kyle. We saved her. But Kyle's like, how's that saving her? So really interesting stuff. I highly recommend this. If you like The Walking Dead, this is by the same writer. It's by Kirkman. So if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, I think you're really going to enjoy this. And believe it or not, one day this is going to be made into a television show. So check that out. And finally, from Black Mask, we have God Killer, number 6. And again, my backlog, I did not read issue number 5. But if you like a dystopic world, if you like the idea of a young boy trying to find a heart for his dying 14-year-old sister, and along the way he encounters unsavory characters that can perform magic, that are nefarious, and will stop at nothing to get what they want, then you'll enjoy this. It's dark, it's gritty, pretty graphic. I mean, this is very M for mature kind of stuff. I mean, you have like sexual assaults in this, and brutal killings, and it's graphic. It's a very graphic novel. I mean, I'm looking through this right now, and a lot of the pages I can't show you because they have nudity, but here we go. It's just got a very, very dark look to it. And I guess in this issue, let me see if I can pull up the taglines. In ancient tunnels beneath Guarnera, Tommy, who's the main character, Halfpipe, and Mulciber are separated from the bounty hunter Soledad and must face an overpowering evil on their own. One of the 3 will die, the other 2 won't get out easy. So what a setup. But like I said, I gotta catch up. I gotta knock out my backlog, folks. It's getting bigger and bigger, so I may have to cut down on the stacks. I know I've been saying that forever, but it's gotta happen, because I can't even remember the names of any characters in any books, and I apologize for that, and I'll try to be better prepared for next time. Alright guys, it's been another Hump Day Haul. Please let me know what books you got down below, and I always love your comments and feedback, and I'll try to answer everybody in due time that leaves a comment on my haul. Alright dudes, peace.